Hey guys, so we are back again with another reading. I am so excited to be back on my normal posting schedule, able to connect with you guys more frequently. So yeah, let's get into it. Today's question is about why you feel so connected to a certain celebrity. It could be anyone, it could be an influencer or, a major actor or singer or anyone that kind of you like to look up their content or support their art, or just someone that really fascinates you. Why do you feel drawn to them? What is kind of the purpose of it, I guess? So yeah, we are going to get into that today, and we have these beautiful new cakes. So we are starting from the blue one is number 1, number 2 is the orange one, number 3 is the green one, and number 4 is the purple one. So I will show you guys up close as well. They all have these felt flower decorations and then like piped icing underneath. So I'm guessing that if you were going to eat this cake, you wouldn't eat that part. But anyway, you can see this one is blue, kind of probably blueberry flavored. Then we have the orange one, so probably orange flavored. Lots of nice icing detail. Then we have this green one, which people pointed out last time could be pistachio, which is so true. I love pistachio. Or it could be mint, matcha, kiwi, any of those. And then finally we have this purple one. It could be blackberry or I don't know, maybe like purple taro or something. I've had like taro frozen yogurt and stuff. But anyway, so hopefully one is calling out to you already. I always say go with the one you feel most drawn to, not necessarily the one you would order in a cafe to eat, but the one you feel energetically drawn to, just like you would pick for a crystal reading. So hopefully one is already calling your name. And if you guys need more time, feel free to rewind and pause, or rewind and mute me. I know you want to hear my beautiful voice, but you can mute me, it's okay. And take all the time you need to decide, you guys. But let's go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey pile 1, so if you guys picked this blue cake, this is going to be your reading. It looks super pretty with the blue flowers, and probably maybe like a blue raspberry flavor or blueberry or something. Let's get right into your reading, you guys. You picked some really interesting cards. So we got the King of Pentacles, we got the 7 of Wands reversed, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 2 of Pentacles. So right away what I'm getting is, first of all, it seems like you guys are somewhat destined for success. That may be why you feel so connected to this person. I'm not sure who it is, but I'm guessing that the person is somewhat successful financially, because there is this theme in the reading of financial success. So it may be something that you were supposed to learn from this person, the path that they have taken. This shows to me that with the 2 of Wands, you guys might not have always known where you were headed, or you might still be lost right now. Maybe that's the place you're in right now, where you're kind of trying to plan out things, but it's not like a kind of thing where everything was handed to you. And I'm guessing that the same would hold true for your person. Sometimes, I feel like when we are on a really important journey and we feel really lost, that's when Spirit can bring in someone who's maybe made the same kind of journey and been through the same thing, to encourage us and to let us know that there is a possibility of success, and where we are now isn't where we have to end up. So there may have been for you a lot of trials and tribulations. The 7 of Wands reversed, I feel like, you may have had to deal with people who were jealous of you or unsupportive of you, kind of a thing. And it felt like you had to fight a little bit, or maybe you're still in that position where you're having to fight, or where you're having people kind of come against you who are not the most pleasant people, or don't have your best interests. They're not rooting for you to win, let's put it that way. And so it's almost like maybe this person went through the same thing, where they had to fight for something, and it wasn't just an easy ride to the top. It was something where they really had to put work into it and pursue it. So I feel like that may be one of your major reasons why you are feeling drawn to this particular person. I can't talk. So we got trust and adventures. So I feel like with trust, it's asking you, why am I having trouble speaking today? I don't know why, but it's asking you to trust a little bit in the universe. It's asking for an element of you trusting in this journey. And we also got adventures, which is kind of a journey card. You know, it's kind of like, just chill, just stay with us because you are headed in this certain direction. But I feel like with the conflict that we see here, it can be easy to lose sight of like, this is where you're supposed to end up, because this period can be really demoralizing. And so I feel like Spirit may have brought this person around you to kind of make you trust that like it can have a happy ending. And also maybe to see, you know, I don't know who this person is. Maybe they have a kind of fun lifestyle where they are, you know, maybe they have an Instagram that's popping, or they have adventures that they go on, or they do travel a lot for their work, or they are always going from different places, or they have a great lifestyle. And it's kind of like Spirit wants you to see that. They want you to see that because it's kind of like holding that carrot in front of a horse to make the horse move after the carrot because it's hungry, is that it's like, listen, see, you could have this too, because they do want you to reach this point for reasons that I think the next cards cover a little bit. So we got light and love and trust, and these are career cards, and they literally could have been anything. So I was actually looking for something more, a little specific, and so I was only planning to pull one from this deck because the vast majority of the cards are like writer or engineer or like mechanic or salesperson or something. Like they're just career cards. So it's the career deck by Doreen Virtue if you guys want to buy that one. But so you guys got instead, so I pulled two, but both of them are kind of the same theme: light and love and trust. And we got trust twice. So I feel like Spirit really wants you guys to, like, I'm getting that you guys have a higher purpose. Like there is some reason why you guys are here. And I'm guessing that corresponds with reaching this King of Pentacles position. You know, sometimes in order for us to be motivated to share our gift with the world, especially when that means that we will encounter more haters or doubters or people that are just kind of in a nasty mindset, we know we're going to have to deal with that. And so Spirit is like, well, let me reward you by giving you some money, and now you'll definitely do it, because a lot of us probably wouldn't want to share our gifts in the world unless there was some kind of a financial or lifestyle reward. So I feel like Spirit is saying that you guys have a special purpose, and I feel like that going after your purpose is going to lead you to this financial success. Part of your purpose is healing and bringing light and love to the world. And I feel like there's like a psychic element to this. And I'm not saying all of you are going to be psychics or anything like that. But I feel like you guys have some spiritual gifts. So I feel like Spirit gives you little messages of like, you should head in this direction, or have you tried that? I feel like you guys, this pile has a definite connection to Spirit is what I'm getting. Sometimes people can connect to Spirit in ways that we wouldn't necessarily put as like psychic activities, whether that's singing or writing or I don't know, any kind of performing. All the arts are kind of psychic and intuitive by nature, but there's so many different ways for us to connect to Spirit. And I feel like there is something in your purpose that has to do with healing people and has to do with giving them that light and love. And I think that the person that you are asking about probably serves the same purpose. Probably some of the things they do give healing energy to others, and uplift people, or just give people like, you know, it doesn't have to be that, you don't have to be like Oprah or a spiritual guru or something to give people a feeling of healing. It can be, you know, a little Ariana Grande song that's about like going out with her friends, you know, but maybe that will be the thing that will turn someone's day around. So I feel like there's something that the person that you're asking about, like their content or whatever they're putting out there in the world kind of raises people's vibrations, makes people feel happier. And I feel like your purpose is along those same lines. So yeah. So other cards we got are Sad Embrace and Solitude. So something else Spirit is telling me, you guys got a lot of messages, so I'm trying to get through them kind of quick, but yeah, something else Spirit is telling me is that you guys have been through it or are still in the process of going through it. Since it's a general reading, people are going to be on different timelines with this. But I feel like you guys have definitely had hardship and difficulty brought into your life. And there's even a sense of loneliness. I feel like some of you guys couldn't trust the people that you were supposed to be able to trust. So that could be family, it could be friends, it could be, I don't know, someone in a position of authority, like, you know, your teacher or something. But it's like the people that were supposed to have your back did not. And I feel like a lot of you guys feel kind of lonely and kind of alone. And that's something that happens a lot when someone has a higher purpose. I was just thinking about this the other day, that like so many of the people I really respect and look up to, you know, like aren't married or whatever. And it's not to say that you can't have that if that's what you want to manifest. But I've just noticed it where, like, you know, I feel like sometimes when you're serving this really high purpose, like God knows that that might be too much on your plate or might distract you, because obviously kids are a lot of work. And so if someone is trying to manifest a family or, you know, a divine counterpart, like, don't let me stop you. I'm not saying that, like, you can totally have both, but I just think that it's something I've noticed where sometimes when someone has a really important purpose, they'll just end up kind of being alone or having not a lot of people understand them. And so that seems to be, from what I've observed, part of the process of someone who has an important spiritual destiny. So it doesn't surprise me that this would be something you guys would be dealing with. I feel like the person that you are tuned into may be the same. It's not even to say, sometimes you can be lonely in a relationship, but this person may have had feelings of loneliness or feelings of abandonment from their birth family, or feelings of, you know, betrayal from people around them, or just, it's like they just went through it, you know? Or even they might be in a relationship, but it's not like super gratifying. And maybe if they're a big celebrity who's in the tabloids, people talk about like, they don't seem in love, they, you know, they're always fighting or something. It could be something like that. So just because someone's in a relationship doesn't mean they're not lonely. And so I do think this might be something you guys have in common. And so it may be something that, you know, Spirit is making you feel connected to this person so that you will realize that, you know, even though you may have not been treated well by people who are supposed to care about you, that doesn't mean you're worth anything less. And sometimes that is what happens. It's kind of like in Harry Potter, you know, how the Dursleys just hate him. I love Harry Potter. I'm not like one of those obsessives, but there's so many great lessons in those books. And J.K. Rowling makes so many great points. And I feel like, you know, the Dursleys, like, they hate Harry, and partially they hate him because he seems special, you know? And so that's something that just happens when someone is on this spiritual path. It's almost like someone said, it's amazing how many like orphans there are in young adult novels, but it's true, because there's something about being alone or feeling abandoned or not having the support that other people may have that actually seems to push people into greatness. Maybe it's because if you had that perfect family life, or you had a super awesome, you know, situation, that you wouldn't feel the need to push out there and risk it all in the world, because the world can be a really tough place. So yeah, I feel like there's something about loneliness or feeling alone that you guys do have in common. So other cards we got: Journey, Wait for Winter, and Tree Wisdom. So there's this emphasis on wisdom. Like, I feel like you guys are very wise. Again, I feel like this is a group that, I'm not saying all of you are going to be psychics or anything like that, but a lot of you guys are very like wise old souls kind of vibe is what I'm getting. Like, you guys have almost like deep spiritual knowledge and this wisdom. And I feel like that's one of the things you're supposed to share with the world. And one of the reasons why you may feel connected to this person. Also, with the Journey coming out, I feel like Spirit is just emphasizing that, like, you know, this is a journey that you're on. Like, this is all part of the path. The hardships and stuff is part of the path. And Wait for Winter, some of you guys may be going through a really difficult time, but it's like, it is going to change. It is going to switch, just like it switches in the seasons, you know, just like eventually the heat goes away and it cools down a little. If you guys are going through a really hard time, it's like, you just have to understand that this is a temporary stage. Just like when you go through the journey, a journey anywhere, like maybe you want to go to I don't know, the Bahamas and you live in the USA, you know, you have to go to the airport, you have to pack your bags, you have to like get a taxi, you have to wait in the super long airport line and get like patted down or whatever. I always do the pat downs, not the magnetic thing, but yeah, so you have to go through all this stuff. You have to have your passport. And, you know, the airport can be really miserable, but you know you're going to eventually end up in the Bahamas. That's kind of a quick version, because most of the time, for most of human history, journeys have been really long and really pretty awful, you know, where you are like traveling along a dirt road and maybe you have a horse, but you have to walk a lot and you have to camp on like the muddy ground. And so the thing is that anytime you want to get somewhere new, special, cool, you are going to have to go on those difficult parts, and you are going to have to be uncomfortable for a certain period. And that's all a part of what needs to happen to get you from point A to point B. So yeah, I feel like Spirit, there's just this message that you guys have this special wisdom. I feel like some of the stuff you guys may do would raise people's vibrations or just make people happier. It doesn't even have to be something like, again, spiritual. Like I'm thinking of, like, I love this. Sometimes I'll watch like QVC, and even though it's like not anything spiritual, it puts me in a really good mood, especially around Christmas or the holidays when they've got all like the cozy little decorations. So it could be just like you know, you make a makeup line, but it makes people feel really good, or you put out certain housewares, you know, or like, I don't know, you design kinds of products and people just become happier just looking at that. So I think that whatever you guys do, it is going to have this kind of spiritual, high vibrational wisdom weaved into it, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's why you are pulled to this person. So other cards we got are the Desert Prince, survival, false promises, the Hawk Prince, spirit communication, paying attention, and the Dream Walker, dreams, the collective good, illusions. So yeah, first of all, we got we got one negative card, and then I guess the other two are positive. But I feel like, yeah, Spirit is saying that, like the Desert Prince, you guys may be in a desert period now, or you may have been through one, but a big part of your journey is that period we discussed where it's going to be hardship, it's going to be difficult. So either some of you guys may have already been through it and you're like, okay, I feel like you know, again, you guys are like a psychic pile, so hopefully you are getting an impression of like, okay, that's checked off already, or I'm still in the middle of it. But I feel like this is just going to be a big part of your path in life, is going through some hardship and things not being super easy. And then I feel like we're going to transition into the King of Pentacles energy a little bit later on. So with the Hawk Prince, I feel like, again, there's this psychic element that you guys have. Spirit's just acknowledging that again. And with the Dream Walker, dreams, the collective good, illusions. So I feel like the big reason why you feel connected to this person, and some of you guys may actually see this person in dreams, or you may have dreamt of them or something, is because you're supposed to be inspired by their path and learn to lean into your dreams and learn that it is a possibility for you. So some of you guys, again, if you grew up, you know, in a difficult situation or something, achieving something big may seem a million years away, like it's totally impossible, and like, oh, that could never happen to me, but I can never do that. So I feel like part of it is that this person is supposed to come around to make you realize that it is possible and that you do have these amazing gifts, because you feel a little bit of identity towards this person. That is so bizarre, you guys. I was just trying to pull out another card, which I guess I'll pull out the two for that deck, and literally as I was saying like something about the timing, I don't know what exactly I was saying, but I was saying like it's just a temporary period or something, and you got patience. So yeah, I feel like they want you to really be patient. They really want this to be something that you realize is spiritually appointed. I've never had that happen where a card like literally flew into the middle of the reading before like that. So I feel like Spirit really wants to emphasize that. And the message on that card is, I accept that everything happens in divine order. So they really want you to know that this is not an accident. I know that I've spoken before about like situations I've had with crazy timing, like when my friend was late and then I ran into someone I had been really wanting to see, and the timing was so perfect. I feel like we can so often get so frustrated with the timing, or when we're stuck in a situation and it's like, why isn't this fixing? Am I doing something wrong? But again, timing is everything, and divine timing is always perfect. So you need to just have patience, and that's a part of it. And then the other card you got is loneliness. I know that I am never alone. So I feel like, again, that's an emphasis you guys have. You got it twice. So this may be a lonely path or a lonely journey, or sometimes you guys may feel also kind of like maybe you're falling behind, or like you're looking at other people your age and being like, well, they have, you know, a spouse and they have a family and they have this and that, and I'm all alone. But again, that's kind of part of the hero's journey. It's like very typical in literature and other stuff that when someone has an important spiritual mission, that they're gonna just spend a lot of time alone. It would be nice if it was just like a nonstop party and then you have your spiritual mission done and it's all good and it's all happy. But we all know from reading like the Odyssey or Harry Potter or whatever, that you don't become a hero without going through some ish. So you just have to deal with that and accept that that's part of the process. And so if you guys are going through it, just feel, you know, I know it sucks, but feel confident, because it's like, okay, confirmation that I'm really doing something special, and then I'm gonna really be rewarded eventually with this King of Pentacles energy. And so I feel like this celebrity that you feel connected to, they may have had a similar experience, and maybe they talk openly about, you know, I was so broke when I was in my 20s and I was living off ramen noodles and I was living in XYZ city and I had this tiny apartment or something, and that maybe they've talked about their struggles or whatnot. And so I feel like you're supposed to learn from that like I feel like especially sometimes those of us who are manifesting stuff, or who are aware of the law of manifestation and the law of attraction, we really can get into this mindset of thinking that like, if it hasn't happened right away, or if it's not happening, that we're manifesting wrong. But that's actually not part of it. Sometimes there's something like even more powerful at play. And we're supposed to go through this almost delay, because when you're manifesting something really huge, it does take more time to come into play. Like, you know, if it's something super small, that can happen like really quick. But if we're talking about a big thing, then that takes time. And I also think there's other spiritual laws at play. Like, I think that spirit appoints certain things for us that are huge destiny moments, especially for some people more than others. And so I feel like for you guys, you are on one of these destiny paths. So it's like, don't feel like, okay, so I must be manifesting wrong because I haven't brought in love, or I haven't brought in the money yet, because know that this is all timed correctly. So keep doing those manifestations and stuff, but also know that, you know, there's other things at play here, and there's a higher purpose that this is all a part of. And I feel like the person that you feel connected to, the celebrity that's your fave, is probably had that same experience where, you know, maybe they had wanted a certain type of success and it took longer than they thought, or they were broke for a while, or they had heartbreak, but they've been through stuff. It hasn't just been easy sailing for them. And that definitely, I think, resonates with you as well. So we also got here and now reversed, breathe reversed, all the glitters upright, and a leg up reversed. So it's so funny that all of these are reversed except all the glitters, which talks about money. So again, spirit confirming that you guys can expect a lot of money at the end of this. So don't feel like, oh my God, things aren't working out now, they never will. Think about this celebrity or this public figure and realize that they had to go through it, and you're gonna have to go through it, but end result will be a lot of success. So with here and now reversed, again, I feel like spirit is pointing towards the future and saying like, don't focus so much on whatever's going on in your life right now. I know sometimes spiritual leaders talk about the need to be present in the moment, and I definitely think that's super important for a lot of us a lot of the time, but there's also something to be said that sometimes your present moment really sucks, right? Like sometimes it's just horrible, and you need to have this awareness that like things are going to change, things are going to shift forward, and things are going to not always look this way. So I feel like some of you guys may get kind of bogged down, and even some of you guys may have like anxiety or just feel so stuck and so frustrated and so like irritated with spirit that this is just not shifting, not changing. Like I've been trying, I've been at this, and it's still stagnant. And know that you have a different future, and it's not going to be like this always. And one day you're going to look back and be like, oh my God, wow, I can't believe that. You know, just like it's really crazy when you hear like certain celebrities talking about how they used to be so broke and they used to have no money, or they used to live out of their van or whatever. And you're like, wow, that's crazy to think that that person who's so successful lived like that. But I feel like, yeah, Spirit is saying that this is like a temporary situation, and even though it may seem like all encompassing right now, you're gonna kind of look back on it as like a blip on the radar, and so necessary, and kind of laugh of like, oh my gosh, that I can't believe I lived that way, or like I can't believe it was so hard. I'm so glad, I'm so happy now. You know, it's gonna seem like a distant memory, and you really will be able to laugh about it one day. With a leg up reversed, I'm feeling like both of you guys, whoever this is that you look up to, and yourself, didn't really have a lot of help from other people. Maybe you guys didn't have a lot of family wealth, or you didn't have a family that maybe even they had wealth, but they weren't willing to, you know, call those connections up and get you like a job at like someone, you know, with some like rich company or something. I feel like a lot of you guys had to make it on your own, but I'm hearing that a lot of that, and if you guys do have family estrangement and stuff, was to make you stronger and was to make you better. I'm hearing Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger by Daft Punk. So it was kind of all done on purpose to really elevate you and bring you better into your alignment, and it strengthens it. You know, it strengthens you just like fire forges steel, or whatever the phrase is. So it's like you need to go through that heat, you need to go through the difficulty to get really tough and strong. And so yeah, I feel like that's something you do have in common with this celebrity, and so Spirit is just acknowledging that that's another thing you guys have in common. So we got lake, stillness, and crystals, focus. So I do feel like Spirit wants you to kind of come back to yourself. You guys might think about doing meditation, or even doing breath work. With breath coming up, you might work on, you know, learning to consciously inhale, exhale, and kind of return to your body. For people who have anxiety issues, that can be super healing and really help them. And I feel like also, you know, just keeping your focus on knowing that you have this end goal in mind. So don't lose sight of it. Like, be very conscious about where you're headed. Some of you guys may not even know exactly what this path is that you're on, or where exactly you're headed, what the end destination is. But I feel like Spirit wants you to focus on your gifts that you have and this energy that you want to bring the world. And then everything else will kind of fall into place. But it's almost like how, you know, in order to get to your destination on this journey that we keep talking about, the metaphor, like, you can't, if you are taking that trip to Bermuda, you can't just show up to the airport and be like, I have no idea where I'm going, I don't know what's going on. Like, you have to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to Bermuda, where's the terminal, you know, and here's my ticket, I have it all printed out, I have it ready to go, I know what seat I'm in, I have all my stuff packed. You can't just be confused, and you certainly can't do that if you were doing those old-fashioned journeys where you're like going by foot over the land. You can't just be like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll turn around and I'll just go in a circle. You have to stay very focused on like the end goal to get there. So I feel like Spirit wants you to have some idea of what you bring to the table, the kind of energy you want to bring to others. And then I feel like everything else will fall into place. But I just feel like Spirit wants you to stay focused on that, because with some of the hardships that you guys have faced or are facing, it can be very easy when we're going through that kind of hurricane to lose sight of it and to feel like you're just adrift, you know? So returning your focus to like, this is where I'm headed. I'm not going to be here forever. I'm headed here is going to be super important for you guys. So we got heart chakra reverse, intuition reversed, and mental conflict reversed. So again, Spirit just acknowledging that you guys are really intuitive. You guys do have these psychic abilities, and I feel like you guys have a very strong heart chakra, and one of your reasons to be on this planet is to raise the collective energy and to remind people of their special love and light. I feel like you guys are compassionate and empathetic, and you do have like a really special purpose, you know? I figured something like this might come up in some of the readings, but I always go in like never knowing what to expect, and this is like way more intense than I imagined. So I feel like you guys truly do have very strong destiny, way more so than I was kind of expecting to pick up with on a first reading of the day. So I feel like you guys are supposed to tune into your intuition and also not lose sight of exactly why you're on this planet. And some of you guys may have to do a little bit of meditation in order to kind of clear some of the mental blockages. This keeps coming up, like your elevated psychic ability. And so it might be a really good idea for you guys to start a meditation process, or just sit on your own by yourself in silence and kind of listen to what spirit brings up. Because I feel like sometimes, again, with so much of this chaos and conflict that can be around you, you might lose sight of it at times. And so I feel like this is another reason why you have stumbled across this celebrity, is because you are supposed to really connect with the fact that they have been through it and they ended up in the right place. So it kind of will be a major like signpost to you of like, you're headed in the right direction, keep going. But you guys have this beautiful capacity for love. You guys are really compassionate, really sweet souls with a big mission on this planet. And I feel like that's why it's very important. It's kind of like, that's why you've had to go through all this BS. And I know that stinks, and we would all like to imagine that, that it would just be so easy to get to the top, but that's just not what happens. Whenever someone has a big destiny, they always have to put up with some BS. So we also got financial health, healing, and family. So again, I feel like you guys are ultimately going to end up with a lot of money with financial health. I just get that vibe that part of this is financial success and financial abundance, but your energy is very healing to people. And this is one of the reasons and the destinies that you have. Again, it doesn't have to be you doing actual healing work. I feel like this is a broad group that is going to have different types of people in it, because again, I pulled career readings and they gave it light and love, but you guys are supposed to really bring healing to others. You guys have this powerful heart chakra. And so part of your mission and destiny is that the work you guys do will bring people a sense of healing and of raising their vibration. And even, I feel like maybe one of the reasons why you feel connected to this person is because some of you guys may feel lonely and kind of estranged from family, from friends. And so it's almost like spirit will bring people around you into your consciousness who you feel connected to, like whoever the celebrity is, so that you realize that you're really not alone and that you do have other people like you out there, even if they're far away or you'll never get to meet them. That's okay, because at the end of the day, you might be on a similar path to them. So you don't have to feel so alone or so ostracized, because sometimes, again, the kind of really unique Uranian people are going to be ostracized or kind of exiled, and that's just a part of the process. So they want you to remember, and they want to remind you that you're really not alone in this universe, and you have so much support from the other side, and that you do have a soul family. Even if sometimes you have to spend Thanksgiving or Christmas alone, or your birthday alone, or whatever, you have a soul family that is with you on the other side, that's always helping you, always guiding you and leading you. So they are with you really strongly, especially when you have one of these big destiny paths. Then a lot of times you'll have an even bigger team. So you're definitely not alone, and that might be another reason why you feel drawn to this person. So final cards are believe in the impossible, bring love into this situation, and it's time to release negativity. So again, spirit wants you to know that this dream you have, which may seem totally out of like, oh, that could never happen, no, I could never do something like that, or people like me don't do that, or people from where I'm from can't do that. It is possible, you can do whatever. We all have so much power, more than we could ever grasp, and so I feel like spirit wants you to realize that, you have every right to achieve your dreams just like anyone else. No one has any more of an entitlement to do things than you do. So it's like you should lean into that and learn from this celebrity, because again, I feel like they were the kind of person that maybe had a lot of immediate shutdowns and like people not helping them and like negative people around them. And so it's like they had to come out of that, and you can too. It really is possible. And they also want you to, like, I feel like it's not that you've been holding on to negativity, because I don't think you guys have. I think you guys have just been forced to be around all this negativity, and so when we're forced to be around that, we can absorb it just as just as the nature of being around it. So I feel like it's important for you guys to kind of mentally move your brain from focusing on the negativity into focusing on your destiny path, and also just bringing your love, bringing out feelings of love, working to raise your vibration and putting yourself in a love energy is going to make this gift that you have even more powerful and speed up this process of reaching the King of Pentacles. So I feel like you can learn a lot from this celebrity, because I feel like they've learned to do that. They've learned to kind of put their healing energy into whatever it is that they do. Maybe it's something super silly, like they film mukbangs or something, or they, just have silly YouTube videos, or they have a fashion Instagram page or something, or maybe it's like a singer or an actor or whatever. But I feel like this person imbues their energy into their work really strongly. And that's what Spirit kind of wants you guys to do. Bring out that special part of your soul and thread it into your work. And I feel like that is what Spirit wants you to do. And once you really master that, the success is going to come really quick, and this painful cycle is going to start coming to a close. So if there is divine timing at play. So to a certain extent, it's, Spirit kind of has the reins, but you also have a level of control where you can kind of speed things up a little and get things moving a little bit faster if we learn to really bring our energy up and bring so much love into everything we do. Bring ourselves into a high vibrational state. That's just so key for everything. So yeah, I think that you guys truly do have a super important path, and that's probably why you feel connected to this person, because this person probably also had a very epic path where it wasn't just like they started off in a rich family and they had no problems and everything was super easy. It was probably like they had to go through a lot of hardships to get where they are. So that's why you feel connected to them, and Spirit has brought them into your consciousness to remind you that you can get from point A to point B as well. You can come from the hardship into success and wealth, and also into achieving your destiny, because you guys have such a strong healing and just spiritual mission on this planet. And so you are supposed to lean into that. You guys are supposed to embrace that and truly, truly, truly spread it with the world. So I really hope that helped you guys. Please let me know how it resonated in the comments. I really love hearing your thoughts and opinions. And let me know, as always, if you have any reading requests or ideas. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So yeah, I really hope it helped, guys. Sending you so much love and light. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye. Hey Pile 2, so if you guys picked this orange cake, this is going to be your reading. It has little felt cloth flower on top, so I don't think it looks like it would be edible, but the rest looks like a typical cake. So maybe it's one of those details that they sometimes, like a garnish that is not supposed to be eaten, but the rest of the cake looks really good. Guys, let's get straight into your reading. You pulled some interesting cards. We got the 9 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords, the Hermit, the 10 of Swords, and finally the 7 of Swords reversed. So what I'm getting right away is that you guys may have experienced some betrayal. And so this person that you look up to, whatever they are, whether they're a celebrity or an influencer, or maybe a traditional actor, singer, whatever, I feel like this person is supposed to kind of remind you that it's okay to go through heartbreak, and that we can get through that, and like we can survive it. So maybe they had some kind of a public betrayal or something like that, or it might just be that like their presence reminds you that there are nice people out there. Because sometimes it's like when you go through a horrible breakup or people betray you, we can have our trust totally closed off and be like, I'm not open to love, like, or maybe like all men are this way or all women are that way. And so maybe the reason why you have stumbled across this person and really felt drawn to them is to remind you that like good people do exist. Maybe it's someone that you're attracted to, and it's to kind of remind you of like, hey, don't give up on love right away. There are people out there that you feel super drawn to, and like that's a positive thing. So it's kind of like, I feel like there was this sneaky betrayal energy around you and you feeling really defeated and also alone. And so I feel like this person's presence in your life is somehow to remind you that you're not actually that alone, and that you do have this great potential for love, and that there are people out there who will really understand you and really get you. So it's kind of like, don't give up yet. Keep your heart open. Don't be totally closed off. Something that also sticks out to me is obviously these two cards are right at the beginning. Pile 1 got something similar. So if you guys felt drawn to pile 1, there may be some messages in there for you as well in there. But I feel like, you know, you guys might also be destined for some kind of financial success with these cards coming in so strong right at the beginning. So it may be a situation where, you know, you're supposed to go through this heartache for a reason, because you're supposed to achieve something special and you're supposed to have abundance. And I always think when that is the case, sometimes God does some clearing out of like the people that aren't loyal, don't belong, because I always think it's a lot better to be screwed over when you're broke than when you have like millions of dollars that someone can steal. You know what I mean? Like if you look at like Britney Spears and her conservatorship or whatever, like, and you think about the crazy stuff that happened there, you would have to imagine that if she was completely broke and didn't have any money and was living in Louisiana where she grew up, that no one would have bothered to put her in this insane conservatorship situation where she's having her rights stripped away. That would only happen when someone has a ton of money, right? So sometimes it's better for us to have our money, or not our money, have the people taken away from us early on, rather than finding out they betrayed us once we have so much more to lose. So I definitely feel like that may be the case for you guys, where these people needed to be cleared out, and you may be struggling with a sense of betrayal or a sense of like, I can't trust anyone. And I feel like this celebrity was put in your path so that you would realize that, you know, you can't, there are still great people out there. And it's almost like I'm feeling like sometimes you may not even find people in real life that you kind of are drawn to. It may be hard for you to meet like friends or lover people, like romantic interests that you super connect to. So it may be a situation where you're like, God, why can't I stop thinking about this one person? And they're, you know, they're like an actor and I've never met them, but like I always think about them, and I feel so drawn to them, and I love their sense of humor. And it's like, yeah, and that's probably for a reason, just to remind you, because, you know, Spirit doesn't want us to be totally closed off. And so it's kind of like, see, you can have crushes on people. Your heart does still work. You still can get butterflies and all that. You know, all those little feelings we get, those little sparks of attraction can still take place. Or if this is someone you're not romantically attracted to, I definitely feel like there's the lesson in there about, you know, getting rid of toxic people. And maybe it's like you're surrounded by toxic people. Maybe you have kind of a toxic family situation, narcissist or something, or maybe, you know, even a toxic friend group where they don't treat you very well, or you just don't have friends, don't have people you connect with. And then I feel like it's to remind you that people do exist out there that like you would get along with, that are on the same wavelength, that will understand you, that you can, you know, that like see things the same way as you, and that you can connect to. So again, it's like almost like Spirit wants you to not be closed up. And this person kind of, maybe they look really good and they look really cute, or maybe you just vibe with their personality or something. But Spirit wants you to keep those doors open to your heart. It doesn't want you to close up completely because of some of these trashy people. Like, there's no need to, I always say, like, there's no need to, you know, study trash, or like you wouldn't get in a trash can and like examine the old coffee rinds and the banana peels. You just accept that it's trash and you move on. But sometimes we as humans have this tendency to see someone behaving really horribly to us, and we try to like analyze it and figure out like what's their motivation, and they did this, and like sometimes you just need to be like, oh, they're trash, okay, I'm leaving, you know, like done, that's it. And I know it can be hard, and definitely I I am guilty of like ruminating too. But I feel like Spirit just wants you to not let these people affect you or get in your head, and stay in like a positive, open mindset, because you guys deserve a lot more. And so they've brought this person to your attention so that you will kind of still feel that little stirring of the heart of like, oh, I have a crush. Oh, that's so exciting. And it's almost like you can't just completely check out emotionally, because this person, you know, brings you those positive feelings, and you remember how good it feels to feel connected to someone and excited and get those butterflies and all of that. So other cards we got are Power, Standstill, and Blessings reversed. So I also feel like there's a message in here about you guys, like I said, being destined for some kind of financial success, or possibly having some kind of an influence. So, you know, with Power and Standstill and then Blessings reversed, I feel like, you know, it may be that right now at this point in your life, this energy is blocked and not coming through. So it may be a situation where you're not supposed to be having those blessings right now. The timing is a little off, and that's going to be brought in at a later date. And I think sometimes we as humans, when we're going through those periods where it's just the hardship, it's like the Saturn energy, maybe it's a Saturn return, or just Saturn just going ham in your astrology chart, and you're just having a lot of hardship. You know, it can be easy to lose sight of like the light at the end of the tunnel. It's always darkest before dawn, as they say. And so it can be really easy to get into kind of a spiral of like, it's never going to work out, nothing's ever going to change. And so I feel like Spirit, this person may have gone through something similar, or like I said, I feel like this person may be on the same wavelength as you, was specifically having like romantic heartbreak, because I feel like pile 1 had kind of a similar vibe with similar cards to this, but theirs was more along the lines of like general hardship, whereas I feel like yours is more along the lines of people betraying you and actual heartbreak, kind of like, you know, people treating you really badly, although it could be both. And again, some of you guys may have felt drawn to both piles, in which case I definitely would listen to it, but take what resonates and leave the rest. But I do feel like there may be this message for you guys of just like, see, it's happened to someone else, and like it's not an indication of your worth. Because sometimes, like I said, we can totally internalize it of like, well, this person didn't like me, so I must not be that cute, or I must not be that special, or I must be kind of weird because they treated me this way, you know what I mean? And of course it's important for us to have some level of self-awareness, and like, you know, like you don't want to be doing crazy stuff and like being really destructive or something. But for the most part, if you're like, no, I know I'm a good person and I'm nice to people and I really do try to be kind and stuff, then it's like you have to block out a little bit of the fact that like certain people aren't going to like you, certain people are going to use you, certain people are just selfish, and that's just how it goes. And I can think of so many celebrities, like I'm thinking of so many famous celebrity women especially, that like got cheated on by their partner, or like have given interviews. Like I think Cameron Diaz said like, no one ever asked me out, I haven't been asked out in like 5 years, which is like so hard for anyone to understand. Like how could Cameron Diaz not be asked out when she's so beautiful? But it's like that kind of happens sometimes, you know. People who are beautiful and bring so much to the table can have their heart broken just as much. A lot of times it's just about timing, or it's just about, you know, being around people that maybe aren't on your level and being out of an energetic mismatch. And so that's actually okay. You know, it's kind of like not everyone is going to appreciate caviar, or as Dita Von T said, you can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and not everybody likes peaches. Exactly. So the thing is that I feel like maybe it's a message for you guys not to internalize this idea of like, well, I'm really not that great because this person treated me badly, or because this guy broke up with me, or because this guy never wanted to date me, or I've never been asked out, or my family thinks I'm really lame or something. It's like, well, they're entitled to their opinion and you're entitled not to care. And the thing is that is not proof of what you bring to the table. Like I said, there's so many beautiful women who never get asked out or never have kind of male attention, and there's plenty of guys on the other side of that maybe are like really attractive guys, but they always get rejected, or they got cheated on, or whatever. So my point is that like, you know, whether you're a guy, a girl, or whatever, the thing is that we can always have heartbreak come into our lives, and it's not an indication of us. It's not an indication of our worth. And it's really important to understand that and be like, oh yeah, so bad things are going to happen, but it doesn't necessarily mean that like I'm worthless or I'm not special or whatever. And so I feel like Spirit wants you to really understand that. So some of the people that you guys may be looking up to may have experienced heartbreak over and over. Or it's just also, I feel like if you're like, no, they're really happy in a happy relationship, it could be that situation where they just want you to realize that like you can feel that spark, you can feel open to someone, and you can get those kind of like mushy feelings of like, oh, they're so cute. That is like the beginnings of that crush. And that's a positive thing, you know? So we also got prosperity begins, reversed, sacral chakra, and hope. So again, continuing on that point where I'm getting the sense that maybe now some of these blessings for some of you, and of course you will all be on different stages of this journey. Some of you guys may have already passed this period and be moving already into the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. But for others of you, you may be like right in the middle of the difficulty and the conflict and the hardship. Some of you may be having a Saturn return or something, but it's like Spirit is talking about a period when you won't have the money yet, when you won't have the success yet. And so Spirit wants you to keep hope and like keep going and, you know, stay moving ahead and stay moving forward, and not like be bogged down at like, oh, this sucks, my life sucks, everything's horrible. It's like, no, it's a you know, temporary setback. It's a temporary hardship, but that's just to be expected. Whenever you do anything, there's going to be problems, and then you fix them and then you move on, and it's not a big deal. And so I feel like Spirit wants you to keep that positive attitude. Also, I didn't talk about power, but I feel like you guys, you know, you do have a lot of power to you. And also I feel like some of that is like, to be honest, I feel like for some of you, there was like a sexuality and that Spirit kind of wants to just make you aware of that side of yourself, I guess, or just like, you know, like have, like I said, you can get closed off to like, I don't have a crush on anyone. I never meet anyone I like. And it's kind of like we can awaken those lower chakras and have, you know, sexual attraction or find someone really cute. And that is all okay. It's all good. And so it's like, obviously, you know, if you're super young or anything, a kid, I don't want to talk about that. And so maybe don't resonate with that part. But I feel like I don't think I have any like super young people watching my videos anyway, but it's like, I feel like for the most part, like bringing out that crush and bringing out that energy that is kind of like that exciting crush. And it does have a little sexual feeling, you know, that's okay. That's a good positive thing. And that's an energetic part of yourself that I feel like Spirit is maybe for some of you activating, but only take what resonates. So if you're like, no, I don't have a crush on this person, that's fine too. I still feel like you can fit into the other aspects of this reading. So we also got slow and steady, flying, and strength. So again, with this timeline, the Spirit is bringing up that like you might not be having instant success, but it's on its way with slow and steady. And then, you know, you have to be like strong going through this. So I feel like Spirit just needs you to kind of just understand that these setbacks are not permanent and that you just have to get through them. And then flying is really a card that speaks about success and speaks about abundance. So it's just another reminder that that is coming to you and that that is your birthright. So other cards we got are the Sacred Union. We have a lot of cards, so I'm trying to get through them like a little bit quickly. But okay, so we got the Sacred Union, partnership, romance, and that's reversed. We got the Queen of the Light, illumination, enlightenment, celebration. And then we got the Ringmaster of Scrutiny, discernment, clear vision, details. So first of all, with the Sacred Union being reversed, again, there may have been heartbreak for you guys, or it may have been a situation where you just never meet someone you have a crush on, you never meet someone that you get excited about, you never feel really connected to someone even as a friend, and it's like something where Spirit is trying to bring that out, help you see the appeal in that, and help you move into that energy. I also feel like, you know, partially for some of you, this heartbreak or the betraying people, like all of that was supposed to happen. These two cards both talk about illumination and discernment. So, mental awareness of someone. And so it's like you are supposed to get into a situation where you're aware that of how they are, You're not supposed to be looking at things with rose-colored glasses. And it's like Spirit, like it's a complicated message because Spirit wants you to be open, but it's also like they don't want you to hang out with like trashy people that don't have your best interest at heart. Being open to the world is not a code for like tolerating a bunch of BS and tolerating mistreatment. You are supposed to be open to beautiful things like love and happiness and high vibrational friendships, but you're not supposed to be open to the trash. It's kind of like how there's like a filter of like the storm drain or something, and it's like the storm drain has those little like teeth things that go down that like divide it, and that clutters up and like clogs up all the like dead leaves and any trash and any litter, but it lets the clean water flow down into it from the rainwater. And so that's the thing, is like I feel like it's like Spirit wants you to clear out the bad people, and then maybe once you do that, you'll realize how many amazing, trustworthy people there are in the world. So it's kind of like a twofer, complicated process that's happening, but I feel like with this connection you have to this celebrity, they may have had to go through something similar where they had betrayal, they had nastiness happen to them, but now they're in a settled relationship, or maybe that's just the path they're on. And so it's kind of like you're supposed to get this message from Spirit about like taking out the trash but leaving the good. You know what I mean? So if you have had people who betrayed you romantically, I'm actually feeling someone being like really bereft and really feeling lost and really feeling down in the dumps. And I feel like also this person might have brought you this energy just to cheer you up a little bit and just to like bring you back into a more positive place, because I do think that this was just a heavy energy, and it's like it probably was a lot to deal with. So Spirit wants to kind of enliven you and make you just a little bit more positive. So we also got travel. Your life purpose involves traveling, and options. Consider the career possibilities that are open to you. So travel may be something this person does a lot. I'm not sure, again, who this is, and it's a general reading, so it's going to be different for everyone, but maybe for their job, they're traveling a lot, or maybe they're from another culture or something. It could have been someone who is from a different country than you grew up in, or something like that, or maybe even a different state. But I feel like this person is also there to remind you of how big this world is and how beautiful all the different cultures, all the different people can be, and that it's like this beautiful world that we get to explore, and how cool is that. So it may be even that they live somewhere that you feel called to move to, like maybe they live in Los Angeles or London or Tokyo or something, and you're supposed to consider that as a place to live. So I definitely think that there's this aspect of like you going out and seeing the world, and that may be something you guys do in the future. That may be like a foreshadowing of your future life. And sometimes Spirit will bring that person into our lives to spark that interest that maybe you never really thought about Britain, but then you have a favorite celebrity who goes to Britain all the time or is from Britain, and then you like learn about the culture, and then you really become into it, and then you're like, maybe I should move there, and it's the perfect spot for you, or something like that. So it could have been a lesson or a message just in that destination. And then options. So it's like you guys have a lot of, I'm hearing the world is your oyster. You guys have so much power and so much potential, and it's really up to you guys where you want to take it. So we also got autumnal equinox release, Milky Way perspective, rain purification, and rainbow blessings. So I also feel like something that comes to mind is that you guys are supposed to really, like, these people that I feel like betrayed you, a lot of it was for a reason. Even this person that you like, they may have really not even moved on to the positive part of like the lesson. It may just be a situation where like they got screwed over by an ex, or they, I don't know, like something like that, where they had a lot of heartbreak, or maybe they don't even have a lot of heartbreak, but they sing a lot about heartbreak in their songs, or they or they write about it in their books, or they, you know, act about it in their movies or something. Or it could just be that you have the heartbreak. But there's something in here about you guys realizing that some of the people that betrayed you were not meant to be in your life anyway. So I feel like this person, whoever they are, I feel like they serve as a lot of contrast of like what is a good person to have in your life. Like maybe you always think that the bar is a certain way, or is super low. Like maybe you think like, oh well, all men are gonna act like this, or all women are gonna act like that. You know what I mean? And then it's like you see this celebrity and they're so nice and they're so sweet, and you're like, oh, well, people out there really exist like this? Oh my God, like I didn't know that was an option. Oh, okay, actually maybe I do want to date then. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you realizing that the people that were mean to you or nasty to you or discarded you were not good to begin with, and you weren't supposed to end up with them. So you not having them in your life is a blessing. And then once we take out the old, we can welcome the new. It's just like if you want to buy new clothes, you have to take out some of your old clothes in your closet and bring them over to like the donation center, or throw them away, or whatever you guys want to do with them, because you just don't have the room in your closet for those additional items of clothing until you've cleared out some of the other stuff. And so same in your life, like there's probably people you could welcome in, but then maybe your life has been clogged up by some of these other more toxic people. And I feel like Spirit wants to make you realize that you deserve more. And it's kind of like, I'm hearing raising the bar. It's kind of like, oh, you know what? I don't have to settle for this. And actually, I actually have a lot more stuff that I can expect from people. I don't need to tolerate bad behavior. I don't need to have, you know, trashy people around me, and I deserve to be treated really, really well. So we also got the Fates reversed, Deep Knowing, To the Sea reversed, Chop Wood, and Loyal Heart. Loyal Heart is reversed, and so that card does speak about loyalty and relationships. And so it's like, I feel like there was a lot of disloyalty directed at you. And so it's like you guys have felt really betrayed. Even for some of you, you may not, like some of you guys may still be in the midst of dealing with a toxic family or dealing with toxic people, and you haven't cleared them out of your life yet. And some of you may have already had that big breakup moment or had that clear out moment. So it's gonna be different, the timeline for everyone. But I do feel like, you know, Spirit wants you to find people that will reciprocate your loyalty and will like really understand you. Because I think when you find the right people, you know, there's not those misunderstanding moments where it's like, what did you just say? Well, I thought you said this. And you're like, how would you even think I would say something like that? Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had that relationship with someone where they're like, well, I thought you were trying to say XYZ thing. And you're like, the fact that you would think that I was even saying that is like an insult to me, and you don't know me actually at all, you know? And so I feel like, yeah, there may have been moments like that in your relationships. And so Spirit is trying to bring you into accepting more. Also, with the Fates and Deep Knowing, I feel like, and Chop Wood, I feel like, again, a lot of this is kind of like timed, and you guys are supposed to reach this success level. And so it's like you are kind of being brought down this path for a reason. And this person may also drive you to succeed. They may also, you know, make you realize that like life is more open than you thought. Like you may have had a limited view of things or what you could achieve. And then Spirit brings this person into your consciousness, and maybe they have a glamorous life or just a lot of financial success. And suddenly you realize that that's kind of a possibility for yourself that you had never considered. So also with To the Sea reversed, that one talks about checking in with Spirit and like checking in with yourself and with the higher planes. So with it being reversed, it may be a call from Spirit that's like, they want you to check in with them. They want you to meet up with them. Kind of like, you know, you got to go get coffee with your old friend once in a while. You can't just never like see them and then hit them up last minute and ask for something. Like you have to like keep that relationship going. So they may be asking for you guys to spend a little time meditating or praying. Whatever religious, you know, background you have is fine, but like praying, that totally counts as meditation. And, you know, having gratitude and all that good stuff. So I feel like, yeah, it may be important for you guys to do that. With Moon energy, that's kind of the same vibe, because it does talk about psychic ability. Some of you guys may be psychic, also with deep knowing coming up. So it's kind of like, I feel like also you may feel drawn to this person because deep down you've always known that people like them existed, or deep down you've known that you have been kind of in dysfunctional relationships. And so you feeling really drawn to them may remind you of like what you can expect in relationships or should expect. It's kind of like I'm getting like, maybe for some of you, this person is a member of your soul tribe on the other side. So you may have known them like on the astral plane or whatever, or, you know, you may know people similar to them on the astral plane. You may find their personality kind of similar to yours, or that you have commonalities. And so it's like, even if you didn't know them specifically, that, you know, there are other people like that who exist in this world who have that same personality. And so you being drawn to them is an intuitive sign that like, hey, this is the direction you guys should head in, you know? And so it's kind of like spiritually pointing you in that direction. So we also got imagination, relationships, and gratitude. So as I was saying, practicing gratitude may be a really important part of kind of coming into this abundant energy a lot faster. This person also may use their imagination for their career. So they might be doing stuff like, you know, writing songs or acting or creating art or something like that, or photography. But I feel like you guys leaning into your creativity, it may also lead to this abundant energy coming in a lot faster. And then with relationships, it's I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So I feel like you feeling really drawn to them. I'm almost getting that like they're kind of like emotional support for you. Like I feel like maybe sometimes you get really bogged down, but then you can feel like good by like watching a video about them or looking up their content, and it's just like comforting. So I feel like for some of you guys, this person was brought in to align you more with like a positive energy, and with also like that relationship, other focused energy, you know, where we're not just caught up in our own energy, but we're caught up in someone else's, and we're kind of open to someone else's energy field. So we got forgiveness, protection, and confidence reversed. So I feel like protection coming in, like I'm hearing that like rejection is God's protection phrase, which I love, and it's so true. So it's kind of like if you did get rejected, or you had people treat you really badly and then they left your life, just know that that's a really good thing, and it was supposed to happen, and your guides are really happy with it. With forgiveness coming in, I don't feel like they're wanting forgiveness as in like, hey, go back to these people and make everything, smooth everything over or whatever. I think it's more along the lines of they want you to just move past it energetically and not be focused on it, and be focused on bringing in what you want and what you deserve, which is more along the lines of the type of energy that this person has, whatever they do as a like celebrity or public figure, you know, whatever kind of thing that you find appealing about them. Maybe they have like a good sense of humor, or you love the kind of work they do, or you love their style, or I don't know, whatever. That's what you should focus on, bringing that into your life and not being caught up in like the betrayed energy, because I just don't think that's going to serve you guys. Like it never does. When we're upset, it stinks that like that happens. Someone can upset us and then it screws us over like twice, because then we're manifesting more hurt as we process that. But yeah, I feel like you guys are supposed to just kind of leave that energy behind and focus in bringing in this beautiful, abundant, and happy energy that I think will be so great relationship-wise. This person might have also stolen your confidence, not the celebrity, but like this betrayal. Maybe it could be one person or multiple people, but I feel like the betrayals kind of stole your confidence away and made you doubt yourself. And so that's something you should get back. Again, I feel like the celebrity for a lot of you guys that you're asking about, they may have had public hurts or rejections from like romantic partners. It also may have been a situation where they just got publicly judged. It's amazing how certain people will just get judged for the media for the stupidest reasons you could ever imagine in your life. Like especially I feel like women will just get judged for like the dumbest stuff ever. And so it's like, part of that is a lesson to us of like, you can be freaking amazing and there's still going to be someone online being like, this person's annoying, this person seems so awkward, this person looks really ugly, you know what I mean? So it's nothing you should take seriously. Like, if people can be out there writing comments about like how Angelina Jolie is so ugly, then why would we take any of that seriously? You know what I mean? Why would we like actually take that on ourselves? Like, that is a good lesson, that anyone can be called ugly, or like that Beyonce is so unattractive, or that, I don't know, like, you know, Megan Fox looks horrible. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, totally legit. So believe whatever you want to believe. You know, I mean, the thing is at the end of the day, we have to know ourselves and we have to find that confidence in ourselves. And so this person going through it publicly may have made you realize that, like, it's stupid to listen to what negative people have to say about you, because guaranteed there will always be some crazy person out there saying nonsense and saying that this person is like so evil, or, you know, so mean, or like whatever, so ugly. And so it's like, why would we take that seriously when it's directed at us? So also, final cards, what do you need to release? And communication is key. So I really think in this sense, with a new moon in Gemini, this is kind of about relationships. Also, like I said, you guys might be soul family because these are the twins, so family members. But yeah, I feel like this person is also a good communicator, is what I'm getting. Like, I feel like they are entertaining to listen to, or I don't know, maybe they write good songs or they write something, but I feel like they are good at communication. Or maybe you guys are, but I do feel like, so overall, this is about you guys learning to bring in an open energy to love, and to realize that the nasty people you've had to deal with are trash and not really anyone you should pay attention to. So don't let it hold you back from being open to the good, but also clear that old trash out, because it's time to make a new way for something new and beautiful. And that's really what waning moon talks about, is what do you need to release? So letting go, and how actually letting go can be a huge gift. Just like we need the moon to wane so that we can start doing like the new moon stuff and having the new fresh energy come in, we have to let go of the past. We have to have that clearing out period. Just like after you clear out like your old broken down furniture, you're gonna have like an empty room, you know what I mean? When I just moved into this new apartment, and it was totally empty when I moved in, right? And I had to bring in all my boxes and stuff, but you know, I didn't walk into the apartment and panic and go like, oh my God, there's no furniture. I'm never going to get any furniture. Oh my God, everything's gone. You know, so like, that's the thing, is like, you have to know that like creating space in your life or having an empty space, spirit will fill it. And we just have to have that moment where we openly release and just let go. And then the new good stuff can come on, head it in. And I do feel like this is really wanting you to stay open to relationships. So maybe this person is even, maybe some of them look similar to someone you will have a relationship with, or they have a similar personality or something. But I feel like this is definitely connected to like the relationship sector. If we could do the astrology, it would be like the 7th house, 5th house kind of vibe. It would be, you know, Venusian energy. So I do feel like you are supposed to stay open to love, and realize that you can have the exact kind of person you want. So no need to put up with the trashy, dusty people. Just keep holding out for the good people that you truly do deserve. So I really hope that helped you guys. Please let me know if it resonated in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe. Also, let me know if you have any ideas, because I'm always hoping to make videos you guys will really love. So whatever you guys need help on, let me know in the comments, and I might be able to assist with the video. So yeah, I am sending you guys so much love and light. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye. Hello, lovely pile threes. So if you guys picked this green cake, this is going to be your reading. There's a little felt flower on top, and then the rest of it looks like your typical edible cake. So I was thinking maybe that is one of those garnishes that aren't meant to be eaten, but they're just put on, you know, as decoration. So anyway, let's get right into your reading, guys. I'm getting some strong energies already. So I pre-pulled your cards, and the first one was the Star. Pretty cool for this reading. So we got the 2 of Swords, Death, the King of Cups reversed, the 3 of Swords reversed, the 4 of Pentacles reversed, Justice, the Six of Swords, the Devil, and the Five of Pentacles. So oftentimes this would not be a positive set of cards that you would want to come out. But in this context of this reading, I don't think it's anything to freak out about, except to say that maybe you guys have gone through some hardship or some heartbreak. And it's like some endings, maybe even some toxic, controlling people or people that really didn't have your best interest at heart. And so for whatever reason, this was kind of something you needed to go through. Maybe there were some endings that needed to happen and that spirit facilitated happening in your life. But with justice coming out, it makes me feel like this is going to have a positive ending. And maybe something you have in common with this celebrity or public figure is that maybe they had to go through this kind of a thing too. I definitely feel like for some of you guys are facing a choice, and maybe this celebrity came into your life to point you in the right direction, because I am seeing you guys leaving something behind. It's almost like if something isn't working, why keep doing it? Maybe you guys were trying a different career or something and you weren't happy, but you were like, okay, I have to stick it out. And maybe this person has a kind of career that you would like, and maybe it's to point you in that direction or make you aware that like, no, this really is a possibility, like it can happen. I don't know. So let's go into some of the other cards. So we also got Passion Ignited reverse, Transformation reverse, and Financial and Material Changes. So yeah, I definitely feel like for some of you guys, there is stuff you're supposed to be leaving behind. And maybe this celebrity public figure may have been put into your path so that you would go in their direction. Like maybe they have like a cooking Instagram, or maybe they sing or act or write or whatever, and it's like you would love to do that, but you're like, I can't do that. Or maybe there's also, with the star coming out, maybe you guys are supposed to be somewhat on a public stage to a certain extent, and maybe that's something you're very resistant to because you don't want to be judged, or you're afraid of what people will think, or you don't want to look stupid, and I totally get that. But sometimes with financial and material changes coming out, and also with the Five of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles reversed, I feel like it might be a situation where you guys like kind of need to lean into this as a career in order to facilitate blessings. It may be something like that where, like, you know, Spirit is like, well, until you make these necessary changes, like I'm really gonna turn up the heat and make it really uncomfortable for you. You know what I mean? Because I do feel like there's some dysfunction going on with the Devil coming out and death. So yeah, I definitely feel like some of you guys may also, I don't know, be good legal minds or be good at like social justice and stuff like that. Maybe you guys, some of you guys may look up to people who have spoken out about issues like that, and maybe that's something that you really admire, and I feel like you guys would be good at that. Or some of you guys just maybe Libras, and I don't know, but I feel like a lot of you guys, the reason why you're supposed to be drawn to this person is it's almost like some of you guys have repressed some of your soul purposes or your soul urges. Like maybe some of you guys are like, no, I have to focus on getting a degree in this field because my parents would like that. Or maybe, no, like I could never do that as a career because it's way too risky and I'll never make it. And I feel like maybe that is why this person has been brought into your awareness and you feel so drawn to them, is because it's like, no, they made it happen and maybe you could too. So other cards we got, One Ring, Circus, and Goblins. So yeah, I do feel like there's this aspect of public performance, or like, I don't know, or like you being drawn to something that would be a really good career choice for you, and you would like master it, kind of like the ringmaster in the circus, like how they, you know, that, like the movie Water for Elephants, how Reese Witherspoon like stands on top of the elephant and she like twirls around in those outfits, and it's like crazy to imagine being brave enough to do that on top of an elephant. But you know, she knows her stuff, she knows what she's doing, so she can command the animal and they listen to her. So it's kind of like that, where I feel like if you guys were to try this thing that maybe you feel drawn to in a way, you'd be really good at it. Also, for some of you guys, it may have inspired you to do stuff creatively, like write. Like maybe you guys feel inspired to write songs because of this person, or to create social media content, or maybe it's something like you're writing fan fiction about them, or about something they were involved in, like a movie or a band or something, or you read fan fiction. But I feel like a lot of that may be like weirdly pointing to your purpose. Maybe some of you guys are really good writers, and you just randomly feel drawn to write fan fiction, but it's actually like really freaking good, and you could, work at it and like improve your skills and like become a really good writer. Or maybe you won't be writing fiction, but you'll be writing scientific papers, but you're good at it. You know what I mean? But I feel like there's some message here about your purpose, them inspiring some of your purpose and leading you to like maybe a career change or a life purpose change. It's almost like they excite you what they're doing. And the thing is, we got goblins, and that talks about kind of like disloyal, not the nicest people. And so it's like, you may be surrounded. It doesn't surprise me with all this heartbreak and stuff that you're supposed to leave behind with the Six of Swords. So there may be something that it's just like, you are supposed to have a little bit of reconsideration of the people around you, and that will lead you to more of this destiny path. And maybe like they serve as like a contrast to some of the people that you have had in your life, kind of a thing. I'm not sure. Let me get some other cards. So we got leadership and we got patience. So I do feel like they want you stepping forward. Like that is coming through really strongly. Maybe some of you guys are shy or have felt the need to hide yourselves away. I know some kids of narcissists and stuff, narcissistic parents can be really strong about like, how dare you be the center of attention? Like I know it's your birthday, but you didn't have to like wear a dress like that, and now everyone's looking at you and it was supposed to be my day, kind of a vibe. Like narcissists are so crazy. I'm trying to find out like a plausible thing they would say, but everything they think and say is totally nuts. So it's hard for me to even relate. But yeah, so like they a lot of times can raise kids who feel the need to like shirk away. And I'm not saying take what resonates and leave the rest, but some of you guys, and we can have this come from all different areas. Like I think it's so bizarre how people shame people for taking selfies. I love when someone takes a selfie and I can like see into their eyes and see that little sparkle in their eyes, and it's like sweet. I love it. So we have this weird cultural stigma against people like, well, I can't believe they would put themselves on social media as if they think they're the center of the universe. And it's like, well, who cares? Don't watch it then. I mean, I like certain people that post on social media, like random stuff, dumb stuff, what's going on in their day, but I still like to watch it, I'll still watch like a mukbang and someone just chilling for an hour eating, like, to each your own. And so if you don't like that stuff, fine. But we have this weird, like crazy judgment, I feel like sometimes, against people who, are putting themselves out there. And so some of you guys may have internalized some of that and feel like, well, I would be so embarrassed to actually post my stuff or to let people judge me. But it's like, I feel like Spirit wants you to step forward into the limelight a little bit. And maybe that's why you feel really drawn to this person. Maybe this is the kind of person who's very unafraid of that and who has done that in their life, and they are like a reminder to you of like, hey, that is a possibility, and they're gonna inspire that in you somehow. Patience, I feel like, is also letting you know that like some of this stuff that you've been going through, because I can see all the negativity, it's temporary. And so just keep going, just keep swimming, as they say in Finding Nemo, which I've never actually watched, but I know the quote. So it's like, yeah, some of these endings and stuff are supposed to take place. And if you're feeling emotionally, at a wit's end, you gotta stay strong and you gotta move through it. So some of this stuff is happening not to you, but for you. It's happening on purpose to transform you and to have this positive end result. But it's just right now, it definitely is super painful. Kind of like when you break a leg or something and it heals badly and they have to re-break it. Like that sucks, but it's gonna heal correctly the second time. So sometimes you need to have those painful moments to have a long-term better results. So we also got temptation. Are you in denial about an unhealthy habit, perhaps one that makes you feel guilty? This fairy says you have the power to overcome temptation, whatever it's, guys. And then divination. Embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. So for some of you guys, like the devil is the temptation card and stuff. So that's coming in really strong. Some of you guys may have really toxic people in your life, or some of you guys may also struggle with like bad habits about drinking too much or eating too much, or I mean, literally anything can be an unhealthy habit, whether it's shopping too much, exercising too much. I used to like socialize too much as a crush, which you wouldn't think could be a bad thing, but I would use that to like run from my emotions, and I'd call up my friends and go out to like the bar at night. And so, you know, anything can be a bad habit, even if it seems positive, if we use it to run away from our emotions. So you might just spend time meditating. And, you know, I feel like this is kind of a call to purpose for you guys. Like I feel like Spirit is saying basically that you guys have some big purpose that your connection to this celebrity is trying to bring you into alignment with in different ways, because it's a general reading. So I feel like that process of bringing you into alignment is going to be different. Again, for some it might inspire you to like write fan fiction and you just feel inspired by this person. And for others, they may be doing the same path that you would want to do, but you didn't think was possible for yourself. But either way, I feel like this person is kind of in your life to give you a kick in the behind in the right direction and be like, hey, get to work. You're supposed to be going there. So, you know, using a moment of meditation or spending time alone and praying and really tapping into Spirit and seeing what Spirit has to say, I feel like would be immensely beneficial for you guys and help you along this path. Because I feel like Spirit, you know, they're not letting up anytime soon, that you have like this destiny moment coming for you and they really want it to be really strong. So we also got Yin, Thinker, and Imagine. Let you guys see it because I know you can't see the bottoms. But yeah, so I feel like a lot of you guys, this person really stokes your imagination. Again, with like, I keep seeing fan fiction or something. Like, I feel like this person inspires you somehow. So it could be inspires you to get in the same career as them, or inspires your creative juices. So, you know, you're like, let me write a song. And it's kind of loosely based off of this person. Or you love the kind of particular music they make and it inspires you to download like GarageBand and start trying to put together your own tunes, or to pick up the guitar or whatever. But I feel like you spend time thinking about this person and you spend time kind of processing them, and like they play on your mind. Maybe you watch like interviews or something and they're really funny and something that they said just plays over and you're like, oh, I can't believe they said that, and it cracks you up in the middle of the day or something, you know what I mean? But it's like they're on your brain, but that's for a reason. You know what I mean? I get that they're on your brain more so than other readings I've done today. So I feel like a lot of you guys really do think about this person. You're not just like, well, whatever. I mean, I guess I'll just fill out a person for this reading and, you know, I don't really care. I feel like a lot of you guys genuinely do feel connected to them and enjoy their content, whatever it is, even if it's not like actual content they're putting out, but like interviews or whatever. I feel like you enjoy it and you think about it, like you process it. And so it's like, that's a good thing, because they are supposed to bring out that inspiration in you. It's so funny, the things that will like provoke thoughts in us, you know, like sometimes you'll watch a movie that's not supposed to be a movie you thought you would really love, but then afterwards you just can't get it off your mind and you're like, wow. And so, okay, so he was the villain, but then also it's because of his childhood, and then and then she was the protagonist, but then there were times when she said this that was kind of like, and you know what I mean? And you're like, why am I overthinking it? And that was a Disney movie, and what's going on in my head that I have been thinking about this Disney movie for the past 20 minutes? But it's like, that is there on purpose, and Spirit is bringing it into your consciousness because there's something about this person that I feel like is supposed to inspire you somehow. So again, maybe stepping into the same career as them, or maybe a totally different career, but one that will be kind of inspired by feelings they bring up in you. So we also got full moon completion and new moon promise. That is so cool that those came out one after the other. Promise I didn't mess around with the cards, guys, because sometimes people accuse us of doing that. I don't know why I would pick these cards then. Be like, screw you guys if I picked like the devil for you guys. That'd be so mean. But you know, all the death card and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, these are really cool that they came out together. And I feel like this shows to me that there is something really potent and powerful, because these are the two most powerful like moon cycle for sure. And so the fact that they came out and it's not even a moon deck, it shows that there's something very potent and very spiritually important about your purpose. And I also feel like, again, a lot of you guys are ending a cycle in your life and coming into this new cycle. And this person is some kind of a guidepost for you to the direction you're supposed to be heading. Because I'm getting, for some of you guys, you may feel confused about, like, I don't know if I should head that way or this way, or maybe you don't know exactly what career path you want to take. And that's what I was saying, and maybe why fan fiction keeps being brought up, is like a lot of people, I feel like, have started fan fiction, you know, and they're just like, well, I liked that movie, so I'll just write this. And next thing they know, like, someone's like, I'd like to buy the rights to this novel. And maybe they never imagined they would become a writer. And maybe they were, you know, trying to become a math person or something. I know math person isn't a career, but I know nothing about math. So, you know, a math field career, an accountant or something. And now suddenly they're like, oh, so I'm a writer now. And so I feel like that's the kind of thing. Or like maybe someone has never painted before and suddenly they just feel this call to paint. And then next thing they know, like, someone's like, hey, I would love to buy your artwork. I saw you posted it on your Instagram and it's really good. And next thing they know, they're selling artwork. So there's something in here, I feel like, that points to your purpose that this person inspires. So other cards we got the Spirit Whisperer, Divine Guidance, Higher Knowing, and the Metal King. What does this say? Discipline, Armor, Boundaries, and the Altar Priestess, Preparation, Prayer, Sacred Ritual. So there's also a lot of spirit coming through again. I feel like this is a very potent moment for you spiritually, where spirit is very involved in redirecting you and like shifting. I'm seeing like literally someone taking like a ship's wheel and like just, you know, just turning it around in like a totally different direction. But I feel like it's going to be so much more positive for you than what you have been doing. Even if you feel like, well, things aren't so bad, I feel like it's like, no, this is going to be way better. So I think you guys are supposed to somehow get some kind of inspiration for destiny from this person. And again, I can't say what it is exactly, since it is a general reading. And so I feel like for some of you, you know, it could be a different relationship or a different career, or that you're supposed to move somewhere else, or you're supposed to travel, or who knows. But I definitely feel like there is some like divine guidance, as it says, in this moment for you guys. There's a lot of spiritual involvement in this. And so it's like, some of you guys may have been tolerating like the just enough situation, like, well, I don't love my career, but you know, it pays the bills and it's okay, it's pretty safe. And so, you know, I'm not thrilled with it, but like, it's comfortable. And so I feel like spirit is saying like, no, you deserve way better than that. And spirit is kind of intervening and pushing you in the direction of something that may be a little bit scarier at first, but that is going to be so much more gratifying for you overall. So yeah, so other cards we got Freedom, Children, Justice, and Time to Decide. So again, spirit talking about this kind of crossroads that you guys are at, where it is time for like a shift in the energy and time for a change in where you guys have been headed. I feel like a lot of you guys are at kind of this very pivotal point in your life, which is really interesting. Where you're shifting from one mode into another. And I feel like this new mode is going to bring you a lot more freedom and a lot more of what you want. It's almost like for some of you guys, you may have been mistreated. You may have been treated badly by people, or really have a sense of like, because justice came up twice, of like, this is just not fair, and this is really uncool how I'm being treated or whatever. And so it's like, I feel like you are going to come into more success that will make you happier and make you feel satisfied with how things turned out. Like, you're not going to be in a situation where you're like, wow, this person really got away with it and I can't believe they screwed me over and this is just so awful and so unfair. You guys are going to be in a situation where you feel some kind of what's it called? I don't know. I can't think of the word. I had it and then I lost it, but you feel some kind of like a positive feeling about a satisfaction, I guess is the word, about how everything turned out. You know what I mean? And you're not going to be in this negative energy of like feeling like everything was lost. I feel like a lot of you guys are afraid of everything kind of really not working out for you. And you guys maybe even be afraid of like poverty and stuff. And I feel like there's something that this person is pointing towards you that you're supposed to kind of take the lead from them. You're supposed to kind of learn from them. And that the fact that sometimes when we pursue our passions, as daunting as it may be, and at first, you know, you may feel like, I'm going crazy. What am I doing? I can't believe I gave up a career. And I'm not saying people should actually leave their careers or something for, you know, something that hasn't worked out or doesn't have final, you know, solution yet or whatever. But I feel like this is about taking some bravery and about you guys heading off in this new direction and kind of being unafraid of like shooting your shot, taking that shot and actually putting yourself out there, you know. This one says make a decision based on your true heart's desires. So some of you guys may even feel very unaware of like your actual heart's desires. You might be like, but I don't even know what it is I want to do. And so I feel like there's something in this person's career that is pointing you in that direction. For some of you, it might have to do, like I said, with social justice or the law. But I feel like you guys stepping forward into this brave mode of really being more authentic with yourself. I feel like a lot of the people that you guys are asking about are pretty authentic, you know what I mean? And true to themselves. And so it's like, you're not supposed to be a follower. I feel like some of you guys have been trying to shift yourselves into this tiny little box of like what other people expect of you. And the fact is, you guys are so much more powerful than that. And you guys deserve so much better. And there would be such a beauty in it if you guys were just fully authentic about yourselves. Some of you guys may have felt very oppressed by family, or like, you know, like they had this certain expectation of you. And it's almost like I feel like Spirit wants you to have your own identity and form your own view of things and not just feel like, okay, my parents expect this, so I have to do that. Because I think that you guys are going to be so much more satisfied if you do what is true and authentic for yourself, whatever that is. And so there's something in this person. Maybe they just really do their own thing. Maybe they look a certain unusual way, or they pursued a career path when they had no way of knowing it would work out. But there's something in there that is, I think, going to inspire you to lean into your own authenticity. And so final cards, well, these are not the final cards. Why did I say that? I don't know. I'm losing it. But anyway, so we got adversity and we got growth. So adversity says, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. And growth, I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. I'm hungover, so I think that's why I am blanking on the card pile. But anyway, so yeah, I feel like, you know, this adversity and temporary periods of hardship that you guys have gone through, it's like, don't take that as like the end of the road. You know, that's the thing about the death card. People are so scared of it, but it can be so positive. Like it can be, you know, an ending to a cycle that needs to end, a cycle that is no longer serving us. And so we need to shift out of old modes of consciousness and move into the new one. We need to like try to move new places and do new things and push ourselves a little bit. And so I feel like a lot of you guys have been trying. It's almost like I feel like you guys, it's not that you're afraid, but it's almost like others are afraid. Like others are afraid to see you in your full light. Others are afraid to see you fully glowing, fully aligned in your highest power, because it's almost like they're afraid of your power. And I'm hearing like Your Power by Billie Eilish. So it's like, yeah, you guys may have this kind of thing where you guys hold yourselves back from leaning into your fullest self. Some of you guys may be really into people that like go over the top with like hair, makeup, whatever, or I don't know. I feel like a lot of you guys are just into people that like really put themselves out there fully. And it's almost like you're like, I could never do that. I could never dress like that, because like probably, you know, your parents would judge it, or friends or family. And so it's like you just hold yourself back. And Spirit wants you to just fully lean into like doing exactly what the heck you want. Like, I mean, I get looks when I have my nails fully done. I definitely have people being like, staring at my nails or giving me weird reactions, but that's how I like to do them. So it doesn't matter to me what they have to say, and they can do their nails however they like to do their nails, and I'll do mine how I like to do mine. You know what I mean? So part of it is accepting that not everyone is going to get you, and that's cool, because who cares? And as I always like to say, not everyone likes caviar. In fact, a lot of people don't like caviar, don't like the taste of it, and it's like, you know, the most expensive food in the world. So my point is that, not to be like a snob, but the point is that beautiful things, not everyone is going to understand or appreciate, you know? Not everyone is going to get what you're doing, and that's okay, because they're not supposed to. But the mistake we can make sometimes is taking that on ourselves and being like, okay, so I shouldn't do it because this random guy online said he thought I was a loser because I did it. Okay, who is he? Do you know him? Do you hang out with him? Do you respect him? You don't even know him. He could be a total loser living in a swamp for all you know, like a literal swamp, in a hut in a swamp, and he somehow gets Wi-Fi. I don't know. But the point is like, why are you putting any thought into what some of these clown-like people have to say when you could be leaning towards your destiny moment? Because when you do things that are interesting, most of the time you are going to get judgment, and you just have to be willing to be like, okay, well, you have your opinion. Who cares? Not me, but anyway, you have it. So, you know, don't take it on. And that's the thing is, I feel like some of you guys are holding yourselves back. And so you may be really drawn to someone who really marches to the beat of their own drum and is super authentic. And I feel like the message you're supposed to get out of that is being authentic to yourself and being okay with people judging you, because who cares at the end of the day? They're not paying your bills. They're not, you know, they don't have the same destiny moment as you, the same destiny call. So it's really important to learn to block that out. And I feel like a lot of you guys have been drawn to this person for that reason, and also for that kind of spark of inspiration. So we also got travel, freedom, courage. Oh, and then that one's not ready yet. Okay, so yeah, so it's funny, courage is the lion, and that is Leo, and that is all about putting yourself out there and being okay with being the center of attention. And so sometimes people will like bash Leo for that, like, oh, well, they just think they're so special. And it's like, yeah, they do. And what's wrong with that? Like, we should all think we're special, you know what I mean? And we should all be okay with being the center of attention. And it's funny, in this photo, you know, this lady is stuck inside this bird cage, and she's just kind of trapped inside of it. Yeah. And so I feel like for you guys, there is this message that it's time to break out of your shell. It's time to move into something totally new and really be your most authentic self. There's no point in you guys trying to stay inside this cage when it's no longer serving you and it's no longer helping you guys. I mean, you know, what's the point in staying inside a little cage when you could be out there exploring this world and this beautiful life? You know, you also got the travel card. So again, for so many of you guys, this is about exploring new things, going new places, going to new adventures and stuff. And so, yeah, I feel like Spirit is calling really strong for you guys to take that step and not be afraid of the judgment of others, and to have courage and really lean into your authenticity and into your destiny call, because that is going to bring you the success you want. And that's why you feel so connected to this celebrity. And I just heard like a train horn. I didn't even know I could hear that from my apartment. So I feel like Spirit is really emphasizing, and someone was like knocking at my door lightly. I think one of my deliveries, so it's fine. But the point is that they really want to emphasize this moment that you guys are supposed to be brave. You guys are supposed to be stepping into your call, your destiny moment, your heart's call to you of what it is you're supposed to do. And so we also got work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio, and meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. So that's a lot of water energy. Some of you guys may be water signs, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. But either way, I feel like, again, so water signs have very creative energy as well, which again, I keep mentioning that I feel like for some of you guys, this is a call to you guys to do some kind of creative field, whether that's writing, whether that's making music or acting or painting or whatever. But I feel like that would be positive for you guys, and it would also that can be very meditative. Anyone who has painted or done anything like that knows there's this meditative moment where like your fears start coming up and then you kind of work through them, and it's all really nice. So some of you guys may think about doing creative stuff, and it kind of turns into a meditation process in the process. So and then working through your fears is going to be so important for you guys. I feel like you feel drawn to this person because they have successfully managed to work through their fears and be willing to step themselves out into that. I almost feel like, I've got to be honest, I feel like for so many of you guys, this is you guys being afraid of judgment, and it's almost like a call into the public sphere. And I'm not saying that you guys all have to start a social media page, or that you guys have to, move to Hollywood and start auditioning for stuff. I'm definitely not saying that, but it's like, some of you guys may be very afraid of the judgment, even in your small towns, or even, well, if I put my artwork up on my private Instagram, like everyone's gonna clown on me or something. So it's like, I feel like you guys need to just learn to block that out. You know what I mean? Don't be letting that control you guys, because I feel like you guys have such a powerful potential to create so much important stuff. And part of the reason you're drawn to this person is because they might have struggled with those fears themselves. Like, we always see celebrities at the end game when they've already accomplished so much, but all of them were like that, boy from Kentucky that had to tell all his friends that like, I'm moving to LA to be an actor, and they're like, okay, you're never gonna make it, you know what I mean? Or that person that started an Instagram account and there were no followers for a while, and people were like, oh, what are you doing trying to start a fashion blog? You know what I mean? So everyone has to start small and get rejected at first and deal with that judgment. And then once you pass that test and move through that, that's when the success can come in. But you're always gonna have to take that initial risk and that leap of knowing that you could fail and knowing that people could judge you and being okay with it. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is about putting yourselves fully out there and being okay with the judgment, because you guys do have this powerful destiny moment coming towards you. And it's time to step into the energy. This is a really exciting, beautiful time for you guys. So, if you need to get clear on what direction this is, maybe meditate, but learn from this person's bravery, because I feel like you guys have this powerful leadership energy that you could be stepping into, and you could be inspiring others the way this person did. And so it's like, why waste any more time? Just be yourself, because everyone else is taken, as the saying goes, right? So I really hope that helped you guys. Please let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing your thoughts. Also, if you have any reading ideas, leave them in the comments, because I'm definitely always looking to help you guys. So if there's something you need help on, or something you would love to see a topic on, drop it in the comments. And also make sure to like and subscribe. Sending you guys so much love and light, and I will see you in a few days for another reading. Bye guys. Hey guys, so if you guys picked this purple cake, this is going to be your reading. It has this little felt flower on top, and then it has like icing that I guess would keep the flower on, but I would assume you'd have to like pluck this off in order to actually eat it, kind of like one of those non-edible garnishes. But other than that, it looks like a really tasty, delicious cake, perfect for like tea time or something. But anyway, you guys, let's get right into your reading. You pulled some interesting cards. We got the Six of Wands, the Page of Swords. You got the Nine of Wands, the Five of Swords, the Four of Swords reversed, the Knight of Wands, and the Four of Cups. So yeah, some very interesting cards. I feel like for a lot of you guys, there's this emphasis on communication. Maybe this person is a good communicator, or maybe you are a good communicator, but I definitely feel like you guys are maybe like connected on that level. Both of you guys are good at communicating. Another thing that comes through really strongly is that this person may have dealt with some kind of betrayal or jealous types of people with them. With the 9 of Wands reversed and the 5 of Swords, it may be a situation where they had people who were jealous of them and tried to take them down. And sometimes that happens when you are a public figure, which is something the 6 of Wands talks about, is that, you inspire jealousy in others. And so it may have been a situation that you guys may have had to deal with that. Obviously, if you're not a public figure, it may play out a little bit differently. But I still feel like, I always say when there's jealous people, it's amazing the things they can be jealous of. They can be jealous of a paper cup. If you got one and they don't have one, they'll find a way to be jealous and angry about it. So you guys may have been like, well, I don't have anything that great going on, but you might not see the beautiful spark that you have that provokes jealousy in others. And so I feel like a lesson for you guys that you may feel drawn to them is that you guys may have had to deal with jealous people. Some of you guys may have even been like the scapegoat in your natal family. So you may have been born into a family where there was narcissism or where there was picking favorites, and it may be a situation where you felt like you could never win or something. Or you may have been like bullied at school or something, but I do feel like there's this aspect of people coming for you in a way that they also came for this public figure. So both of you guys have had to kind of defend your position, and that may have what has been making you guys both into good communicators with the Page of Swords, where you may have had to learn how to fight, stand up for yourself, do a good insult, or even physically fight. Because I feel like there's a lot of learning that you guys had to go through. And so it's that may be why you feel called to this person, is that Spirit may have brought them into your consciousness so you would be aware that people being mean or nasty or jealous of you is not actually an insult. It's actually bizarrely a compliment. I know it definitely doesn't feel that way, and I'm not defending it or trying to be so it's fine, it's okay. Definitely those people who act that way are still trash, but try to understand that their hatefulness is actually a sign of how amazing you are. And so, try to ignore it or just take it as oh, I'm glad you think I have so many great things going on in my life. Thank you so much for the nice words. So we also got spiritual strength, emotional withdrawal, firm foundation, and fulfillment of wishes. So yeah, I feel like for you guys, this is teaching you strength. Some of you guys may have even checked out a little bit from, some people who have to deal with narcissistic family situations where they're always scapegoated can really adapt very dysfunctional ways of existing, where they constantly take the blame, or they constantly expect people to be mean to them, or they're overly people pleasers or whatever. And it's almost some of you guys may have emotionally withdrawn and just given up kind of on relationships of no one's ever going to understand me. Everyone thinks I'm weird, or everyone thinks I'm, selfish, or whatever got shouted at you by your narcissistic family. And you don't have to have had a bad family. You could be oh, I love my family and they're great. But I feel like there are people out there who have deliberately misunderstood you and definitely come for you. They may not have succeeded, and you might not even be aware of the jealousy you've provoked in others. But I feel like a lot of you guys, you are going to know that some of the ways you were treated was not okay. Some of you guys have internalized it though, where you might be well, it wasn't that bad. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, again, not saying it has to be family, because it could have been other situations, workplace, friends, schoolmates, whatever. But there were people that definitely were jealous of you and treated you badly. And so I feel like in a way, the celebrity or public figure that you connect to may have been someone that also faced a lot of negativity and a lot of jealousy and envy. And so it's Spirit has brought that person into your life so you would realize that their bad behavior is not a reflection on you, and there's no need to emotionally withdraw. In a way, you may have also felt very connected to this person, and you were supposed to feel connected to them, because it's kind of sometimes when we can just deal with trauma or deal with really bad experiences, we just swear something off. It's kind of people will say they had a certain type of alcohol and they got too too much feeling it, and so they never want to drink that alcohol again. And same with like a food that you get sick after eating. Maybe you had like a bad type of seafood or something, and you're like, I'm never eating that again, and so we can do that too in like relationships of like, well, I'm just going to be single, or I'm not going to trust anyone. Like, you can't trust other people, or you can't trust girls, or you can't trust guys, and I feel like Spirit wants you to realize that like, you shouldn't trust horrible trash people that have a bad, lower vibrational vibe and are jealous of you, that's for sure. But you should trust good people, and good people do exist. And sometimes they can be hard to find depending on the situation we're in, but they do exist. And so it's kind of like this person has come into your mind, and you've become aware of them because they're a reminder to you to kind of open your heart to people, and like that, you can keep trying, keep being open. This is a reminder to you that people like that do exist, and that you will find your soul tribe of people who really understand you, enjoy you, appreciate you, aren't trying to screw you over, aren't trying to make you look bad because they're insecure, but will actually have your back. And so I also feel like you guys are in the process of building some finances, some wealth, a firm foundation for yourself, and Spirit is acknowledging that that's kind of the path and the journey that you're on. So I feel like that's always a good message that we hear from Spirit. We also got forgiveness, taking risks, and abundance. So continuing that message that you guys are manifesting some kind of finances, some wealth, some abundance. That's kind of the trajectory that I feel like you guys are on. And maybe this person also inspires you in that direction of like, maybe they have a really nice lifestyle, or they post, on their Instagram, and you see that they have some really cool clothes, or that they have a really great house or living situation. And it might inspire you of, I am going to work a little extra hard, get that money, get that coin, and make it happen. Because I feel like, that is something that you guys are supposed to be kind of manifesting. And so, this person may give you that little push, nudge in that direction of being aware of, how much money can change things and give you a kind of success that, can make a difference, especially for someone who may have had people being really mean to them. It's like, I think it's probably pretty gratifying to be like, well, look at all the success I have now. So, not to be petty, but just a little petty. So then we got forgiveness. So I feel like Spirit is not calling on you to like just welcome this person back in your life and just, oh well, let bygones be bygones. But it's just that when we stay focused on the people that hurt us, we kind of manifest more hurt. We bring that energy in, and it's not to blame anyone for that, because it's still the decision of those people, but it's kind of like we come into vibrational alignment with more of that energy, with more of the hurt and the pain. And I feel like Spirit wants you to just move out of it and focus on your goal. Like, that's probably another reason why this person was brought into your life, is because you seeing them living a great life or having some money is going to make you realize that like, oh, I can get there, or like, oh, I really want that. So it'll take your mind off some of the negativity and move it into this positive sphere of life. I would love that kitchen island, or I would love that outfit, or that is such a great car, or whatever it is. So I definitely feel like those things, should come into your life, and you being focused on this person is going to speed that process up. So we also got compass and golden palace. So again, with the emphasis on abundance, and also with compass, I feel like, this is letting you know that a lot of the things that have happened may be directing you down your path. So there's no need for you guys to kind of panic or feel like, well, this stuff happened to me, and so now I'm on a bad road, or, I can never actually come to abundance because, I don't know, sometimes we can get in that loop. Like, I've heard people say like, oh, well, I was bullied in high school, so I never had the typical high school experience. And that can really play on their mind and feel like a trauma, or they feel like they really missed out. But it's like, life moves on, and there's so many different stages of life to lead. So if you did miss out on high school, that doesn't mean you can't have a great college experience, or a great 20s experience, 30s experience. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's no need to focus on the past, or to get in a panic about like, what is Spirit doing? Why isn't this working out? Know that this stuff is divinely guided, and you're going to be headed after your like North Star. So we also got artist, books, and let go. So again, this emphasis on some of you guys may be really good communicators. with the Page of Swords and books, some of you guys may have a destiny towards writing or communicating somehow. You might be good at like social media or something, or speaking in public or anything like that. But I definitely feel like some of you guys may have writing abilities or generalized communication abilities. Also with artists coming in, this may be a call on some of you guys to do like creative work. But I feel like either way with let go, this is definitely a call for you guys to move away from the people who have betrayed you. And by that, I just mean don't let it play on your mind. Recognize that that is an indictment of their character and it has nothing to do with you. And sometimes even though we tell ourselves that we are out of a situation and we've moved on, we're still mentally stuck processing that, going over it in our minds, thinking it over like, oh, how could they do that? And we don't fully move on because we're still stuck in that moment. So I feel like it's really important for you guys to genuinely move on, emotionally move on, and not let this stick in your head and not let it like play tricks on your mind. You know, you guys have this beautiful destiny that I feel like wants to come in. And so it's like, it's time to release and let it go in the past. And I feel like this public figure, again, many of them may have had some kind of betrayals and stuff like that happen to them. And it's like you can see that they've had a happier outcome. You know what I mean? They've had a better past or a better future than people probably would have expected. I'm reminded of some of those celebrities that will say like, oh, I was teased mercilessly growing up, or I never got asked out on a date until I was like 25, or you know what I mean? Something like that. And then it's like you can see them completely glowed up, having this amazing life. So it's really proof that like any of us can change our lives at any moment, and Spirit wants you to step forward into that alignment. So other cards we got are inspiration, moderation reversed, and tree wisdom. So I feel like some of you guys may have been like holding yourselves back with moderation and reversed. Some of you guys may have been kind of like not wanting to fully put yourselves out there, or like, again, some of you guys may have issues with feeling like, you know, maybe some of the mean stuff people have done to you is an indication of you not being as worthy, or you guys being kind of weird or lame or whatever. You know, maybe some of the negative things people said about you kind of stuck in your head, and it's really important for you to discard that and don't hold yourself back anymore. Lean fully into who you are, because who you are is so special. I feel like the person that you follow, you know, they might be pretty authentic, and they might, you know, be someone that doesn't hold themselves back a whole lot. And so it's kind of like they may be someone who's very honest about their emotions as well. And so it's kind of like recognizing that it's okay for you to be honest. It's okay for you guys to have that energy of like, yeah, I said what I said, or, you know, this is what I like to do, and you can judge me and I don't really care, but that's what I like to do. And I feel like Spirit wants you to, it's almost like lean into your magical energy. I feel like some of you guys have this beautiful magical energy about you, and a lot of you guys are like these sweet souls that may have been very creative when you were younger, and some of that may have been like talked out of you, like, oh, you're reading those stupid books again, or like, oh, are you trying to write another little stupid song, or you know what I mean, or like bullied in class where maybe you love to dress in an unusual way, but then, you know, the kids in school would be super mean about it or something. And so I feel like Spirit wants you to lean back into truly expressing yourself in the most authentic way that you can, and not being afraid of this judgment, because I feel like so much of the judgment directed at you is coming from a place of jealousy and envy. And so again, I know it sucks, and I don't mean to like encourage the bad behavior or say that it's okay. Because it's still, you know, just as bad when it comes from them, regardless of the motivation. But remind yourself that it is envy. And so whether they want to admit it to themselves or not, they're envious of you, and that's a big old compliment. So don't take it as like, well, I'm the problem or something like that. know that you guys truly do have this beautiful energy to offer the world. And I feel like spirit wants you to go into this like dancing, happy, beautiful energy. That's where they want you to head. And maybe in a way, also paying attention to this person could be a bit of a break from reality for you in a positive way, not like a total break and like going crazy, but like a bit of a, you know, momentary pause from like the stress of life where, you know, maybe you were in a bad mood and then you check their page or you watch a video of them and suddenly you're feeling really good again. And so that's a good thing. Like spirit wants you to be in this positive, high vibrational mindset. So if you have to watch a few videos of even a stupid thing, you know, whether it's like your favorite celebrity being interviewed or a mukbang or a, you know, little animal video or something, like all of that is totally fine. Whatever gets you there is what you're supposed to be doing, because what matters the most is being in a really happy, positive energy. And once we get to that happy, positive, high vibrational space, it's so much easier to manifest. And so some of the negativity that you've been faced with has brought you away from being in your natural high vibrational state, which I'm hearing comes so easily for you guys. Like I feel like some of you guys are like little earth fairy energy. Like little fairies and stuff are very connected to fairies because you guys are so like happy-go-lucky types, or you were that way, and it's almost like it was brought out of you, or it was, you know, beaten out of you kind of a thing. And so it's like spirit wants you to move back into that, move into your positivity. So we also got summer solstice, radiance, whale, breach, and ceremony invocation. So I kind of feel like with breach, it's like, yeah, same energy. Time to break out of this mold. Time to stop caring what the negative people have to say about you. Time to accept that not everyone is going to get you, and that's perfectly okay and perfectly fine, and the right ones will. Just like the celebrity you tune into might be the kind of person that is slightly controversial. I mean, I don't know, this is a general reading, so I'm just going off what my psychic abilities are sensing, but it may be someone that is slightly controversial or someone that certain people don't like, and maybe it's the kind of person that when you say their name, people are divided, or some people are like, oh, them, oh my God, they're so annoying or something like that. Again, take what resonates. You guys know which celebrity you thought of. So, but I feel like some of them may provoke like reactions in people. But the thing is that you feel connected to them, you love them. And so that's a sign that just because other people don't like someone, it's not proof of their worth or value or how others are going to take them. And when you guys find the right tribe, they are going to love your energy and your positivity. And so it's like you should work on returning yourself back to who you were as like a child, like your purest, most authentic self. And that's when I feel like you guys will truly attract the people that truly love and appreciate you. Because I feel like some of you guys are so you've been a little bit traumatized by these negative experiences. So it's almost like you're trying to hold yourself back, trying to pretend to be someone you're not. And you're just going to attract more of those judgmental people that will never understand you in the process. And if you just lean into like, I'm going to be my realest, authentic self, whatever that is, then you will attract people that love that side of you and truly get you. And you won't have to deal with these horrible little betrayals anymore. Also with ceremony invocation, again, I feel like spirit feels very connected to you and is trying to guide you back into who you were. So some of you guys may do like spiritual work with that, but I feel like this is also just a message that you guys are supposed to kind of spend a little time meditating and returning to your deepest, purest self and thinking of who you were as a child and connecting to that part of yourself, that pure part of yourself, because it's so special. So we also got here and now and between worlds. So between worlds really talks again more about psychic abilities. So some of you guys maybe really should take up a meditative process. Some of you guys may have psychic abilities, or you may pull oracle cards and stuff like that, or tarot cards. Yeah, some of you guys may be involved in that, but I feel like a lot of you guys, you're supposed to this person may inspire you in a way that is like creative, and creative stuff is actually very meditative, and it is a way for us to connect with the spiritual realm, even though it's not like straight meditation where we're sitting in like a lotus pose on the floor and like saying Om, which is totally, special and important as well. But it's like we can also meditate by doing some of these mindless activities. Like a lot of people will say like, oh, I just had the most amazing idea in the shower. And it's because it's kind of one of those mindless times when you have to think. And the same thing can come up with doing like creative tasks. So I feel like this person may be inspiring you to kind of move back to that. But I also feel like just your guides want you to know that they are very much guiding you. Like I feel like they're coming forward more so, like really strongly, to be honest, is because they really, really, really want you to return to this happier version of yourself, because they feel like that's so powerful, and they want you to really release some of the negative stuff that happened in the past and kind of live in the here and now and kind of be present and like take in the beauty of this world, because it's almost like some of you guys are plagued by some of the trauma or negative stuff that's happened. And you are such a beautiful soul that it's a shame to the world that you wouldn't be able to be fully present and engaged, because the world will benefit so much from you guys being in this happy, positive, high vibrational place. So we also got the Shadow Queen, acquiring knowledge, insecurity, manipulation, and the Map Maker of Destiny, authentic purpose, inspiration, free will. So I do feel like a lot of this stuff was appointed. It was supposed to happen. Some of you guys did have these manipulative people around you, but it's kind of like you guys have grown from that, and there's no need to keep aware of that. I feel like some of you guys are constantly on guard of like, oh, I can't let anyone in. They're going to judge me. They're going to treat me really bad, just like I got treated badly in the past. But the thing is that the right people aren't going to manipulate you or treat you horribly. They're going to love you exactly how you are. And Spirit wants you to be in your fullest, most radiant self. I don't think I talked about this card, but to me, this is really sticking out of just like, you know, that kind of reminds me of Leo. And Leo is all about being your truest self and being unafraid to put yourself out there. And so it's really important for you guys to, I think, lean into that. And I keep getting the vibe around a lot of you guys as like this happy, positive, almost childlike energy. And I feel like some of you guys were that way when you were younger, and then it's like things have happened that have moved you out of it. And I feel like Spirit is very strongly trying to shift you back into that. So that's maybe one of the reasons why some of you guys feel connected to the celebrity, is maybe they have a goofy or funny side, or stuff they do just amuses you, makes you laugh, or puts you in a good mood. And so it's like, you know, or maybe it's even not even like that funny, but it just puts you in that happy place. It's almost like a secret hidden place inside of you of like, ah, yes, I love that movie, or I love this song, or they're so funny in their interviews, or they always look so great, you know what I mean? And I love seeing them smile, or I love seeing their outfit, you know. But it's like, it's all about them putting you in a high vibrational place, and that's really the major key of it all. So we also got discipline, blame, and self-esteem. So discipline says I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Blame says I accept responsibility for my well-being. And self-esteem says I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is you guys realizing that you really can do anything. And partially it is, I think, actually removing blame from yourself. I think some of you guys have taken on too much blame and like tried to look for meaning in people being really nasty to you and really mean. I always say this, so I may have repeated myself, but I feel like I always say, you wouldn't climb into a trash can and like analyze, you know, the old broken eggshells and like the rotting old apple and the, you know, half-eaten like box of takeout food. You would just be like, oh, that's trash. I don't care about it. I don't need to analyze it. And so much of the time we deal with people who are very trashy, low vibrational people that have only negative intentions and negativity for us. And yet we spend time trying to get to the bottom of it, trying to analyze like, okay, and then they meant this, but they said that. So, okay, maybe if I tried, so I think it was because of that. And it's like, who cares? They're trash. I mean, not trying to be harsh, but you know, it's like vibrationally speaking, they're trash. And so ignore, like, you don't sit around with a pile of trash and dig through it and try to hold it up to the light and put it under a microscope. I mean, maybe if you're a scientist you do that, but most of us aren't curious that much about trash. And that's the thing in life, we spend time ruminating over these trashy people that have no business being in our minds for longer than like seconds, 0.01 seconds. And yet we spend all this time thinking it over and taking it on and being like, I should have said, so if I had said it that way, then maybe they would have reacted that way. It's like, no, they probably wanted a fight or a conflict. Many of them are narcissists anyway. They're looking for a fight. So there's no point in us trying to get inside their heads and dig around and figure it out. Just move on and just accept that, like, they treated you badly because they're probably mean, and that's how it goes. And so, oh well. And then self-esteem. I feel like that's a big one for you guys. You guys are supposed to develop a little bit better self-esteem and realize how special you guys are, because you really are a special group, and Spirit wants you in that high vibrational place, because I feel like that would lift our collective vibration so much. And I feel like some of you guys may have irritated low vibrational people because your energy is so strong, so powerful, so beautiful. But again, know that that is not an indictment of you. It's an indictment of them being low vibrational. So if anything, you should lean into it even harder and be like, yes, I'm glad I repelled all the low vibrational people. I'm really aligned. You know what I mean? What's coming to mind is, like, I remember one time I went in a crystal shop, and this girl was helping me out, and she was nice, but she grabbed this hunk of black tourmaline, and she was like clutching it in her hand like this. And I was like noticing it, because I do know about crystals. So, you know, even though she was like, I was kind of letting her, like, I was like, well, I didn't really want to talk to her, but she seemed super bored, and she was kind of going around, and like, so I was like, well, yeah, I guess, could you help me find this kind of a crystal? So she was like talking me through the crystals, and I was like, I know, girl, that you're carrying a protection crystal, so what the heck? So finally I asked her, I'm like, so why are you clutching that, like, tourmaline? And she was like, well, it's just that you have a really strong energy field to you, and when you walked into the store, I felt your energy super strongly. And I was like, really? Oh, well, okay, the protection crystal's for me. Okay, great. But I was like, so what kind of energy is it? And she was like, it's just really fast, really, really kind of like a hyper fast energy. And I was like, okay. I don't know if I should take that as a compliment that you're now using protection magic against me. Like, it doesn't seem that complimentary to me, but as I thought about it afterwards, I was like, but I'm supposed to have a happy, like, fast moving vibration. And I was really happy in that moment because I'd just gotten good news. So I was probably projecting even stronger. But my point is that I'm not trying to say, because she was like nice and stuff, but it's like sometimes your energy being really positive is just gonna, people aren't necessarily going to react to it well. But the point is, you know your energy. And I love being in that happy, fast moving energy place where I just feel like I could just go ahead and dance in the rain, and I could just, you know, scream at the top of my lungs with joy. That sounds really crazy, but you know what I mean? So I feel like you guys should focus on the fact that you guys should align yourselves with that energy. And if people don't like it, like, I could have, I guess, gone into a deep depression that someone was using a protection stone against me, and oh my God. But I kind of analyzed it, and I was like, so she was complimenting me. I don't know if she knew she was, but she was like, your energy is just so, it's just so high, and it's just so fast. And that's a positive thing, whether she knew it or not. And so the thing is that we have to take things, we can't just take things at like face value of someone dislikes us, so that means we're bad. We have to, you know, use our brain to analyze it and be like, well, actually I was feeling pretty good and I like myself, so I'm just going to keep doing me. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of people love my energy, so I am going to not like let one person derail me. And part of that is so important in life. It's such an important skill just to take someone's opinion and say that, like, well, that's your opinion, man. You know, that's the energy we have to have, instead of taking it on, which is such a waste of our time. So we got dreams, closure, clarity, and new beginnings. So I love that you guys got new beginnings, and it comes after closure. So I feel like once you guys are able to process this and have clarity and understand what went down, and not take it on or absorb it as like fact, like, oh, this person didn't like me, so I must be horrible. That's just such a silly way to think about things. So it's really important that you guys hold on to your knowledge of yourself and move yourself back into that super high vibrational positive space, because I think that's who you guys are at your core. And you may have people in your life that repeatedly bring you down. Some of you guys may even live with some of these people or just be around them at work, or there's people that you feel like you can't be your highest vibrational state. And so it's something that you should definitely work to bring an end to. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why you're connected to this celebrity, or you feel connected to them, is because they bring you into a high vibrational state, and also that they probably have faced some hardship as well. And you're supposed to take inspiration for that you can have new beginnings and beautiful stuff coming in. So yeah, we also got a new start is coming. What do you need to release? Waning moon, and conclusions are within reach. Full moon, eclipse, and that was new moon. So this is all about you guys letting go of the past and welcoming in this beautiful new story that you guys have. I feel like you guys are going to get some mental closure on this and understand more of why these people acted this way. And my guess is it has a lot to do with jealousy, narcissism, and envy, or them just being out of alignment themselves. And so again, like I said, I know it's difficult, but take it as a compliment. And one of my favorite quotes as well from Dita Monteith, you can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and not everyone likes peaches. So that's the thing. You guys, I think, have absorbed a little bit of a negative mindset about yourselves. And so it's going to be so important for you guys to start doing some positive mantras and positive manifestations with really learning to love yourself again and really appreciating yourself. What's coming to mind is that quote that went viral a few years ago. It was like some little girl, and she said like, you don't have to like me because I love me. And so that's how you guys should be feeling. Like, seriously, as long as you love yourself and really love yourself, that's all that matters. And that's the most healing energy you guys can have. So definitely, I feel like this is something you guys should lean into. I think this is a great connection that you feel towards this celebrity. So keep following, not like actual following, obviously. I'm not talking about that by any means whatsoever, but I mean, keep watching their videos or whatever it is, because I feel like this person is a really positive source of inspiration for you. So yeah, this is I feel like you guys, if you guys can move into your original energy, it's so positive, it's so beautiful, and so it would only be a good thing. So please let me know if it resonated in the comments, you guys. I really love hearing your stories. And also, if you have any reading requests or reading suggestions, I really love to hear them. Love to do things that help you guys in whatever way I can. So if there is something you guys would like me to make a topic about, please let me know and I will be sure to think about it. And also make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. So I am sending you guys so much love and light, and I will see you guys in the next reading in a few days. Take care, guys. Bye.